Welcome back to the Nations Cup, and we've got France B up against Norway here. So we've got Norway with the Viper, the yellow, Keller in the red, Tor in the purple, and Aximator in the orange. Today they're up against France B with Fox in the blue, Kedax in the green, Lee Poseidon in the light blue, lightly in the grey or the silver, and this is actually PLP, Fox is the clan tag. I'm sorry boys, I got that back to front. But anyway, yeah, we're here in the Silver League of the Nations Cup. With our teams fighting for a shot at the Gold League. at the main league, I believe. So the best of 5 series between our teams in this 4v4 competition. We're here today on Hideout. So it's a little bit like Arena in the sense that you do start walled off, but rather than the map being surrounded by trees and the players all facing another, we've actually got quite close spawn distances between the trees. Between the outer players. Only a limited number of trees there as well, so you can cut through to each other quite quickly in the mid to late game. In fact, PLP's coming right into the corner there. Keller also cutting towards his opponent. Aximator cutting away, and so is Lightly, so you will eventually see these guys all sort of cut through to each other. But whether or not to cut through to teammates or enemies, or just try and sort of cut away and get whatever wood you can, I think it's really up to the player what their individual strategy is for the map. But a bit like Arena in the sense that you are, walled off, you're a little bit safe. Getting to Castle Age without too much of a hassle shouldn't be very difficult, but then it also means you're pretty likely to see people just castle dropping on particularly the flank opponents. Whereas the pocket opponents, I guess they're sort of just trying to boom up. In fact, the Poseidon's putting a house on the palisade gate. I guess that just reduces the amount of melee that can actually attack it at any one time. So they are stronger than individual segments of wall, but they're also a lot larger, so you can get, pretty much as many units as you can across 3 segments of wall as you can across the gate. So, and they don't have 3 times the amount of health, so it tends to mean that you can actually cut through the gate faster once you've got a pretty good feudal or castle age mass of melee units. The Viper in the lead for score already. How does he manage it? I suppose he's just got everything stacked up together really efficiently here as well. But all these guys are really high level players. So early on our players would just be working towards feudal age. We've got Malay here for Keller, so Malay. I got it selected, what the fuck? Make it hard to find the right actual civ for each player here. We'll just go through whatever's going to pop up under each name tag, because it is a rollback version of the game. It's usually not 100% accurate, so Got Burgundians, the Viper here. Nice eco civ. Cheap attacks, and they're available 1 age earlier. So he may have even already fit them in. Yeah, he's already taken handsaw so far. He'll be able to take 2-man saw as he ages up. Hasn't bothered to get a farm upgrade early, but there's no real need yet. He's not going for farms just yet. But already having that handsaw probably actually gave him a fair bit of a score lead. So Koreans, Axiomator here on the outer edge. Right side of the map, nice defensive civ. Extra stone gathering. Cheaper wood on his military units as well, so pretty good trash war civilization because of that. Right now, Lightly and the Poseidon are trying to cut through the walls of this outer Norwegian player. The Team France is eager to try and force out some spears, force out some building walling. So we've got Malaysians here for Kelar. Finally found the civ for him. So faster age ups is going to mean he can cram in more villages slightly earlier. There's no real water on here, so it's not going to matter. He's also got militia units that only cost food, so he'll save on gold if he opts to play around infantry, although infantry are just weird to play around in AoE 2. Not like AoE 4 where you'll often see people trying to field infantry, or melee infantry, as much as possible, just to save on cost. In this, you know, there's really a lot of emphasis on good ranged and cavalry compositions. We're seeing over here with Team France being forced back a little bit here. But at the same time, Lightly's got the bigger mass of archers at the moment, so he should be able to keep pushing. Axiomator is going to have to retreat, call on his allies from Team Norway to help him out a little bit. Well, the Viper mass up some cavalry, trying to chase down Kedax's scout. He's going to get away. And now Kelar is going to back up the Viper, trying to push into PLP, who's got these double ranges outside his walls, but he's got a really nice wall of archer units. He probably should be able to push into Kelar there, and the Viper's going to take a little while to actually find any easy value for these scout cav, because we see all our players really walled in. PLP is taken. It's fletching, so he'll have stronger damage on his archers. Well, it's kicked in for Kelar as well. But the Poseidon and Kedax have already just gone for a quick castle age here. Well, it looks as though castle's going to be slightly slower for our pocket players on Team Norway. The PLP's trying to cut through, and he's playing Saracens. So we can actually find whose ticker is Saracens. That's below. We've got Gergeras here. That's the Poseidon. So he's got the benefit of, well, he had extra forage bushes, garrisoning some of his livestock for food generation over the course of the game. Really nice food eco for them. Palisade gate is missing there, but he's nicely walled in here. Axiomator. Looks as though Poseidon's just eager to try and cut down one of these stables of Taurs here. Over on the other side, we've got PLP doing the same. So, Team Norway's under a bit of pressure here. Team France with some knights there to support the archers. And we've got camels over on this side, forcing some defensive building here from Tor. Stables has fallen. A little while before these houses get cut through, but at the same time, I was going to try and get this second town centre out pretty quickly. Just going triple town centre. So rather than the castle ages, well, I was going to say rather than the castle age of Poseidon, which has only gone up to 2 town centres, and really stress the emphasis of getting his castle age cavalry out quickly. These guys are just going straight for triple town centre. Kellar's got a lot of space to back off to there, but at the same time, that's a huge archer mass from PLP, so he's going to have to be very careful. PLP only still in feudal age. Doesn't have to invest in much else at the moment. So we've got Shrivantra riders. 8 camel riders here on the Poseidon. Kellar's Ranger under a lot of pressure here from that big mass of archers. Smaller mass here from Lightly, and he probably can't contend with the Archibald of Axamator, but he does have a lot of cavalry in to help support. So as soon as he can tear through one of these houses, got some stone walling going on as well. So PLP, Castle Age and Crossbow. Castle Age and Crossbow here. Kellar as well. Well, the Viper on Burgundians, he does have access to Cavaliers here in Age 3 rather than having to go all the way to Imperial for him. So, slightly beefier Knight unit. Whereas regular Knights. Slightly less armor, slightly less damage. Just giving us some segments of wall there, make things easier for himself to push out. Has lost a couple of structures, but Zico's in a good shape. In fact, for all the pressure that Team France is putting on Team Norway, they haven't really gotten anything economically out of it. They've just forced their opponents to have to commit to a bit of defenders and throw away a couple of buildings. And saying that Axamator's build count looks to be the lowest, although PDP is pretty much even with him. So it's the Viper. A triple town centre for Kedax, the Poseidon, and for Tor, so their villager populations are going to really pick up. While other players, I'm still only on 1 or 2 for the time being, like Lightly on 2. Still 1 here for Axamator. A lot of damage been done by Lightly and the Poseidon here to Axamator's base, while Kellar trying to take an engagement, backing up the Viper against PLP against Kedax, but looks as though PLP's got the largest massive army here. The Viper actually bringing in Scout Cav he's had for quite a while now. Things are still looking fairly even. In fact, I think Kellar's got the slightly bigger crossbow ball now. Oh, he's actually deleted the wall and used these as the wall because then he can just drop the units back behind, leave the gate locked. Very smart. Axamator struggle for a little bit here because Tor going with triple town center, it's going to take a little while before he's going to field enough of an army to truly support his teammate here. So, Team France players in particular now starting to build outside of their bases. None of the Team Norway players really have other than Tor at the moment. He's actually gone up to 4 town centers. Booming knows no bounds. He's really only able to just start supporting Aximator with some of these conquistadors. Keller and the Viper over here still making ground, so it's sort of ended up with a 2v2 on each side of the map so far. And I suppose a lot of 4v4s will, if they're not just some sort of big mass through one choke point. So the Viper splitting off some of his Cavalier, looking to take an opportunity. And Keller he's landing some nice shots with the Mangonel because picked off one of the archers there. Poseidon forced to back off, trying to poke at Tor, but Tor's now really starting to mass up the conquistadors. It's been a nice raid here for the Viper, punishing Team France for playing so expansively, although there's not really anywhere for Kedax to go except outside his walls now. And he does have his own knights to help clean this up, although fighting an uphill battle on both tech and number at the moment. While Keller is bringing the smackdown. PLP at the moment should be able to get both of those ranges. Right. There for PLP, able to take out that Mangonel. Cavalry here to support from Kedax. These guys should eventually be able to turn this around, but over here on the right side, big bloodbath. Mangonel trying to pick off some of the range there. It's doing a pretty good job, really. So, Team Norway pushing into Team France here over on the left side of the map, while the opposite is happening on the right side. Tor throwing up a castle to support his teammate, and it looks like Aximator is having to head out side of the confines of his base to get some gold. Keller and Viper pushing really well together at the moment. Taking the first Imperial. Poseidon, Kedax, Tor. The lead for the villager counts at the moment. So Tor all the way up to 4 town centre here. Got 4 now for the Poseidon. And 3 for Kedax. PLP can't really dip in terms of score. Now in the position Aximator spent most of the game in. And Lightly is looking to really deny a lot of this area, potential farmland, his opponents. The villagers going to have to back off now because the Mangonel down, so it's not going to be able to zone all the crossbows here. And with Tor having a poke as well, it's giving Aximator the room to actually move up here. Single villager not going to finish that castle off behind enemy lines. And here on the left side we have quite a big engagement, and Arbalest here for Keller, but there's a big surround by camel riders and knights. Archers backed up into the corner as best as possible. Trebuchet's out now for Keller, and he's put a forward barrack castle and a bunch of ranges there, but ultimately it looks like Team France may have cleaned up on this side of the map. So the Viper having to retreat to the safety of Keller's castle there. Poseidon going Imperial. We've got Aximator and Tor throwing down castles here. That's a lot of stone for these guys to commit here just to protect that one gold mine. It's also going to give both players the opportunity to get a lot of trebuchets out once they do take Imperial Age. Keller actually putting a bit of a wall off here, so opponents are going to have to try and attack into this gap, or spend the time actually taking down this house wall. So ideally he's probably going to want to eventually wall up either here or here so he can control these gold mines and the stone. Might be going to Imperial now and really surging ahead in terms of score. Kedax in a similar position score-wise, but still needs to get Imperial Age. And just trying to get some good value out of these knights. The only downside to leaving this as the open space is that, you know, you need to sort of have units on the front line to clean this up. Because now now Kedax has zoned Keller off an awful lot of gold. Force him to do some quick building here. Protect his units. Tor and Lightly both hitting Imperial pretty much the same time. Viper should be able to clean this up with that many Cavaliers against run-of-the-mill Knights. Kedax still not yet in Imperial. He actually misses those villages there. He probably should have just peeled 2 Knights off just to clean them up. Working away at this gold mine over here, because now he's going to get quick walled out of this. Viper should actually be able to clean this up, especially if Keller garrisons it all. So the Poseidon going for a raid now. Keller's still creeping forward. He's got a lot of trebuchets supporting, so he's chipping away at PLP and forcing him to go further and further back. Town centre over here has been taken out. Kedax has got plenty of troops here to support PLP for the time being. Mostly just going for town centres to try and get himself through this, because he's lost 3 or 4 of them by now. These Trebamsha riders attacking the castle. I don't know if this is a great idea here. They're going to have to retreat. Even though they've got that nice armour that lets them tank a couple of extra attacks, they ultimately aren't quite as good as siege units at taking down castles. Now Lightly, I'll try and take out some of these structures of Aximators and Tors here. Actually, there's a lot of exposed villages there he might be able to clean up. All these halberdiers from Tor. Just best off dealing with the camel riders to start with. Aximator looking to bring his own range ball down to support Tor and cleaning up all these crossbows. Players trying to micro extra attacks in. Start a step really well. Over here on the left hand side. PLP finally hitting Imperial Age and being forced to throw down a couple of sets of walls there. Lost another mill and town centre in the process. Doing so. The Viper, Keller continuing to creep forward. They've got Cavalier upgrade here for Kedax, so he's no longer fighting on uneven footing to the enemy knights. But Paladins have just kicked in, so I suppose he is once again Winged Hussar of his own, which is basically a regular Hussar on steroids. Right side of the map, Tor and Aximator pushing forward ahead now. Tor's actually taken a score lead for Team Norway. Not as high as Kedax's score, but it's very close. So going for 4 town centres has ended up paying off for him. Viper and Keller going to support each other. That's a big cavalry wave there from Team France with Kedax and the Poseidon able to drive them back. We've actually got some quick walled structures here just to make microing on to these archers harder. So Kedax has found a gap, but it's too late. He needed to tear down one of these structures and get on top of these guys. Keller, that's genius, man. He's used a villager to place buildings just to protect his archers, man. Cavalry lovers are just crying right now. Archers in lock. Archers in lock. So I suppose all you need is a mangonel and you can sort that out. So we've got trade going on here with Kedax, Lightly and the Poseidon trading on the other side. Yeah, there we go. PLP now. Into trading. Keller a little bit slow on his, but he's eventually going to get it. Viper and Aximator already having theirs. This gold is going to start running out around the map soon, so having control of the corners of the map is really important so you can get that full map trade line. Get yourself. What's Kedax under? It's going to be under the wrong one, isn't it? Yeah, it is. So just tell me. Treads. Get a takedown. Castle. Forcing repairing. Forcing more stone gathering. We've got trebuchets from the Poseidon taking out tallest trebs. So obviously the longer this goes on, the better it's going to be for the Poseidon. Assuming that he and Lightly are able to keep massing up enough units. Aximator can't keep creeping forward here. Over here on the left side, PLP and Kedax are still losing ground to Keller and the Viper. Team France going to find it very difficult to trade here unless they can completely wall off after taking out all these units. It's their market lines. All this has been deleted and they're just going to evacuate all the villages as best they can. But the Viper's already got a bunch of Paladins over there. So Team France presses on this right side to gain similar ground. Try and cut through here if they can. And kill some of these caravans. Try and focus down the trebuchets. They are a high value target, but he needs to be able to get them and get out. Lightly is able to keep creeping forward with the Poseidon backing him up with the siege. $153 is the actual gold value here, so there's no good trading line for Team France at the moment, with this area all being denied. PLP down to 35 villages, so he's almost well and truly out of the game at this point. They really rely on kind of boom back up over the next couple of minutes. Well, Lightly has actually snuck some villagers down into the back of Team France's base. Probably was looking to try and sneak some military production buildings back here so he could just constantly hit at these traders. Because he's got to make something happen now. Because it's effectively a 3v4 for the next couple of minutes, and the market trade is so much better for Team Norway than it is for Team France at the moment. And the Viper in really nice spots at the moment. The Kennex and Lutley aren't doing too bad, even with a diminished trade line at the moment. Tor. Lost a couple of structures here. They did have those castles, but they are actually starting to push forward again once these halbs all get moving once again. Careful to not overextend, but at the same time he's taking out all these trebuchets, and that's a lot of gold down the drain. Team France, and they can't replace it as easily as Team Norway can, so the Poseidon tapping out there, and it looks like Team France are calling it GG. Team Norway takes game number 1.